pretty clean looking. Alright, check this thing out. This thing is just mint for the year. This is a 1986 Honda Fourtrax 4x4 350cc ATV. Picked this thing up for $1,300. I think I paid too much for it. But it's super clean. And it looks like it was hardly ridden. I guess an older guy owned this. And he kept it in his garage. There's hardly any rust on it. This model is shaft drive, front and rear, and it looks like the guy kept really good care of it. There's no mile gauge or hour gauge on it, so I have no idea how many hours are on it, but it looks super clean, and I'm guessing it's got pretty low hours. This model actually has electric start and kickstart, so the electric start is right here. And the kickstart is actually hidden behind the plastics right here. Pretty cool. Right there. So that comes out like that, and you can kickstart it, which is pretty fancy. That is pretty awesome. I've never seen that with a four-wheeler before where it has that option hidden like that. But let's see if we can get that back into place here. So I ended up getting this thing because a subscriber reached out to me and said, do you want to buy this thing? He just picked it up from an old guy, and he said he doesn't want to mess with it. So he bought it non-running and non-shifting. When he got it back home, he got it to shift. So now it shifts, which is weird that it didn't before, but you can see it goes into gear now. So hopefully that won't be an issue down the line, but if it is, we can always fix it. So not a big deal. So this model typically goes for around $2,500, right in that price range, running, driving, everything perfect with it. So today we're going to try to fix it up, get it running, get it driving, and hopefully it'll be a reliable machine. I'm probably going to keep this one. So right now, obviously it doesn't turn on, nothing lights up. I think the battery's dead. The battery's back here on it, supposedly, I think. But it's covered up, so you need a couple nuts taken off to get to it. On the gauges here, you can see oil temp, reverse, neutral. I think reverse on this thing is right here. You can see the little red button with the R on it. Push that down and then pull it in like that, and it goes into reverse. It's got a choke, start, off, on button, lights, high, low, off, on. And it's got a button for a winch. There's no winch. He took it off because it wasn't working. There's like yellow headlights in the front here. Must have been replaced at one time. And then there's a manual switch for the fan. The guy said that the fan wasn't turning on and it was overheating. So he installed that. Also for the electric start in here, the gears were all chipped apart. And he gave me, where is it? The gears somewhere for it. Oh, right here. Here are the gears for the electric start. And some of them are broken off. You can see some of them chipped off in there. So 2 out of the 3 gears are bad. So we're gonna have to order those up for the electric start to work. But for testing purposes, we're just gonna use the kickstart on it for now. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is get a battery hooked up to it and see if she's got spark, and then start digging into it. I think the gas tank is underneath the seat here. Let's just see what's going on. Very nice seat though, look at that. Not a single rip in that thing. Very rare for a seat from 1986. Oh yeah, here's the gas tank. Alright, so opens up. Let's take a look in there, see if there's any rust. So looking in there, actually looks like there's not any rust in there. Okay, that's good. I believe this thing has a fuel pump as well, which hopefully that works. But looking in there, it doesn't look bad. A lot of these machines have rusted out gas tanks, so it's kind of rare to get one with a good one. So hopefully there's no holes in it or anything. That just pushes down like that, locks into place. Pretty cool. Looks like the carburetor is sitting right here. Looks like we've got easy access if we take this bar off that goes across it. So that's not too bad. It's up in there. Right there. Oh yeah, here's the fuel pump right there. Huh, interesting. Then this thing has a decompression mechanism right here, so when you kick it over, it decompresses the cylinder and it makes for easier kicking. So that's definitely working as well, because it was pretty easy to kick over. I'm hoping it doesn't have low compression, but we will find out. So I guess first things first, let's see what's underneath this cover right here and try to get to that battery. All right, let's see what's underneath this cover here. Looks like there's a fuse box in here. Let's see up like that. I think anyway, that's where the battery is. Aha! Oh, we found the battery. That's one step closer. There it is in there. You can see the fuse box is right there as well. So, let's get a jumper hooked up to this and see if anything happens. See if we have any lights. Right. Negative going on. Oh, the fan turned on. That must be... That works. Let's see. Oh yeah, baby. Alright, sweet. See if the electric start works. At least the motor, not the actual electric start, because there's no gears in it. Doesn't look like that's working. Lights are working. Headlight works. Oh yeah, everything's working. High, low. Cool. So it looks like all that works. The only thing that's not working right now is the electric start. So I push the button, nothing happens. Well, should we give it a kick and see if it starts up? We might get really lucky, and maybe the battery was just dead. Maybe that's why it wasn't running. Let's see. Oh, that never happens. Wow. It's running. Didn't even have to do anything. Running pretty good too. It's idling. That's crazy. There's a little tick to the top end. Valves probably need to be adjusted a little bit. Not even smoking. That's crazy. Could use a carb clean though. Alright, so it runs pretty good actually. But I'm guessing it could use a carb clean because it sometimes revs up, revs back down, shuts off sometimes, so we could clean up the carburetor, definitely, and it's probably got bad fuel in it as well. So, change up the fuel, clean up the carburetor, and I want to check the oil before we run it any longer, just to make sure that it's pretty clean. But yeah, that was a very lucky thing right there, because I had no idea this thing would run. That is pretty awesome. Alright, oil for this thing. I think it's got a dipstick on it, so it should make it easy for us. Looks like there's oil in it. Let's see how much though. Oh, that's all the way up. It's pretty black. It's not horrible, but blacker than I'd like it to be. There you can see it's all the way up though. So it definitely has oil in it. That's awesome. Like I said, I think the guy took fairly good care of it. I did hear ticking up here, so I kind of want to fix that problem, because I don't like that. I think it's just the valves. It's either the valves or the timing chain. And then we gotta get the gas cleaned out, because I'm guessing that's old gas in there. I think it's been sitting at least a couple years, is what the guy said. So I could probably use a carb clean. Let's get all the plastics off of it in the front here, so we can get to the head and adjust those valves. Alright, underneath the plastics right here was the air filter. Let's check that out. Ooh, there's a mouse nest in there. Well, good thing we're checking this out. Hopefully it didn't get through the air filter there. But check this out. I'll get that off of there. Oh, the filter's still fine, but look at that nest. That's crazy. That is a pretty big nest. A bunch of feathers in there. All sorts of stuff. Foam. We've got plastic in there. Alright, let's get that vacuumed out. If you're wearing headphones, there's a noise warning coming up. We're turning on the vacuum. Alright, air box is all cleaned out. No more rat's nests in there. So let's move on to getting this thing off the air box, and we can probably get to those valves. Alright, so that was pretty easy. We've got access to the engine now. There's a bolt right here, two right here with a ground, two right here, and then the whole air box just pulled right out, which is right here. that mount came off, that tube came off, and then now we've got access to the carburetor and to the engine right here. So that was pretty easy. Here's the spark plug hole down there. But yeah, we can get to the valves right here pretty easily. Looks like that mount has to come off for that valve cover to come off right there. But that's not a big deal. But yeah, let's open this valve cover up and see what those valves look like. I'm guessing they're going to be a little bit loose. We gotta find tap dead center then too. Right now they're tight. Alright, let's get the spark plug out, see what that looks like. It's got the 18mm spark plug. Running pretty rich. That is a black plug. That is very black. It's got a Champion plug in it too. B809 Champion plug. Might change that out for an NGK. Alright, we're at the left side of the quad here. Let's try to get this thing to tap dead center. I'm guessing these are going to be stuck on there. Yeah. We're gonna have to pound those off. That oil looks pretty black. Let's get this one off. Oh geez, that's on there. Huh. Doesn't want to budge. She's coming. There we go. Alright, looks like a 17mm socket. And we're gonna have to find the T. And well, let's look for that T mark. Okay, I already found it, yeah. Right there is a T mark. The valves are not loose there though, so one more revolution. Here's the T mark again. Alright, this is what the T looks like in there. You can see the T with the line. That's what that looks like. Come up here. Now you can hear them move. Same with the exhaust. They don't feel like super loose or anything. These might be a little bit loose. See, that one's a little bit. I think that's that sound. Maybe. Might be the cam chain. Alright, specs for the intake and exhaust are both 0.003 inches. So these were a little bit loose, but really not bad. I mean, they're probably pretty good. I'm just going to tighten them up a little bit. Alright, valves are adjusted. Let's see if it still has that ticking sound. Basically gone. You can hear it tick sometimes, but that's basically gone. See how it revved up? I think it needs a carb clean. There's the pump gone. I think fresh oil would help too. But let's get off the carburetor and check that out. It sounds like it might not be pumping enough fuel or something. Is it on reserve? I'm gonna have to look at the settings here. Alright, try to get this carburetor off. We'll check and see if the fuel pump's working too. Alright, right here is the fuel line. That's where the fuel comes out. So let's turn the machine on and see how bad the fuel is and if it even pumps. Yeah, no fuel coming out. Alright, that's why it wasn't running properly. No fuel coming out of there, so we've got blockage in the tank. Let's try the other setting on the petcock here. We're on reserve right now. Nothing. We're not getting anything with that pump. Alright, we've got the pump right here. What we're going to do is take the pump off and then blow through the other side of the line just so we don't damage the pump. Alright, so there's one side going to the carburetor, the other side right down here is going to the gas tank. So if we blow through that, looks like there's a filter on here too, an inline filter. Alright, here's the line going to the tank. Take compressed air and blow through it. You can hear it in the tank here. See the bubbles? So it's unclogged. So maybe the line going to the carburetor is clogged. Alright, here's the other piece that's going to the carburetor. That's clear. Alright, well, let's see if the pump works now. Nothing. Alright, I think we were just low on gas, because now it's working. Watch this. I'd say it's a bit old. Look at that color. That's getting pretty dark. So that fuel's pretty bad. Alright, let's go clean up the carburetor next. Alright, let's see what's going on with the carburetor here. This carburetor is like exactly like the 400EX carburetor. Pretty similar. little gunk in there. It's really not horrible. See what the main jet is at here. Looks pretty clear. Looks good. Here's the pilot. It's running a 35 for the pilot. And that is clear. So maybe it was just the fuel causing problems. So far the carburetor is really good. Surprisingly. We'll still clean it out though. Just check everything over. Float. No pinholes in the float. Needle is still rubbery at the tip. That's good. Let's see how far the fuel screws in. 1, 2, perfect. Down there should be a O-ring with a washer. There's the washer. There's an O-ring down there too. Sometimes they're hard to get out. Yes. That little guy right there. Can easily lose those, so. Alright, that's pretty much it for this carburetor. We will blow that out with compressed air. And I think that'll be good. A little carb cleaner. And we'll reinstall and then change that fuel out. Alright, carburetor is back installed. Now we gotta pump out this old gas out of the tank. Pretty yellow. Alright, time to put about $1,000 worth of gas in. Here we go. That's more like it. Oil change time. Let's see how bad this oil is. Drain plug is underneath here. There's the drain bolt right there. I believe it's 17 millimeter. Pretty black looking. So far, nothing. Alright, well, we got lucky there. No chunks in the oil. Alright. Filter doesn't look too bad. No chunks or anything in there. Let me see if I have a filter for it. If not, I can quick run and grab one. Alright, this thing takes 2.4 quarts of oil when you do an oil change, and then 2.8 if you do a full engine disassembly. So, let's add this in there. Alright, oil change is done. Alright, let's get this new oil circulating. Now just to figure out why the starter doesn't work. And I think we found the issue. Took off this panel right here. We have access to the solenoid right here. And look at the solenoid, the wires are cut right there. They're like frayed, it looks like a mouse was in here eating it. Alright, we got some parts that came in. The gears for the starter here. Let's see if they fit. That should just come right off. Like that. There's the shaft in there. Alright, let's see, how do these gears go on here? This one was the old one with the chipped off teeth. And let's see if the other one matches up to it that I bought. So this is the new one I bought. Oh, what the heck? Oh, this is taller. It's the same exact gear, except this one's just a little bit taller. What the heck? That's not right. Look at that. I think I bought the wrong one. It said 1986 on it. The gear's the exact same size. Ah, that sucks. Maybe we can make it work somehow. I don't think so. Because that needs to fit in there yet. That shaft is too small now. Maybe. Maybe we can make that work. I don't think so, because the other one fits in there like this. And you can see how much shaft is left over. I mean, it's pretty close. We'll see if it works. It's the original one. I'm guessing this one's going to be thicker too, which doesn't make any sense. Yep, this one's thicker too. Alright, so all the gears fit in there, but we've got a gap about that big. So I'm wondering if we make a gasket that big for it. If that would work. I guess it doesn't hurt to try. Alright, added about 3 gaskets I made. And it spins over by hand, so that's good. It's nice and smooth in there. Now we just have to fix the solenoid wires back here. They're cut off, so let's fix those and then let's see if the starter works. Alright, here's the solenoid with the cut off wires. You can see a mouse shoot right through them. We're going to try to take off that metal clip right here and expose those wires and then solder 2 new wires onto those. Right, as you can see, both wires are exposed now, and then I wrapped other wires around them. So we're going to solder these on. Or try to. Right, those are pretty solid connections here. So now we can strip off these ends and get this thing installed. Alright, we got everything hooked up. You can see the solenoid wires going to the solenoid wires over here. And I got a new wire going to the battery over here. That's for the winch. I don't have that connected. But let's try to see if the starter works. Hopefully we don't grind off more teeth here. On. Alright, here we go. Start button. I'm scared. Oh, there we go. Hey, that worked. That's awesome. Let's try it one more time. See if it still works. Hey, alright, I'll take it. That's awesome. Alright, so we made the starter gears work with that thicker gasket. And it's very smooth, sounds good, no grinding. Alright, just clean this thing up a little bit, and it really shined up. Thing looks brand new, doesn't it? Really nice looking machine.
Here we go, first ride ever on the Honda Fourtrax 4x4 350cc. So far it seems like it's running pretty good. Just took it for a lap around the yard. Turn the fan on, just keep the fan running. It's a really hot day, it's like 95. It's all upshift on this thing. Go through this water here. Yep, 4x4 is working. That's good. It's tick season, so I'm not going to go through the long grass. Oh yeah, no problem getting through there. That was pretty deep.
Alright, first ride done. This thing's pretty sweet. It's got first and second gear really low, and then third and fourth you can pretty much cruise on it. So it's pretty nice that it's got that. 4x4 does work. We tested out the 4x4 going through that deep puddle there. And then lights work, everything works, the fan works. It is officially done. We fixed everything on it, and it's ready to ride. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Another Honda 4x4 saved, and more to come. Until next time, we are out.